Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new video. Today we have a very special Pride collab that I'm doing with Q-Doll, Derek Sims, Dreamboy, More Rosie, Sophia, and Spellplobs. I'm gonna be leaving links to their channels in the video description. Make sure to check them out, they are the sweetest. We have a few questions to answer, but before I get to that, I kinda want to explain exactly what I'm gonna be doing here for this Creative Sim. This is not the first time that I'm doing a collab like this for Prime Month. I've done one before in the past and there was questions as well. If you guys want to check that out, I'll leave it in the video description. But this time around, since we have some new features in game, I decided to go ahead and use them, even though they're not my favorites. Let me explain why. Like, everything is fine except for the body frame. When you pick a different body frame than the gender of your sim, the clothing always looks so off. And I'm not talking about pants, I'm talking about, more specifically about the tops. Why does everything go really weirdly around the neck? Why? Oh, and don't even get me started on the hairstyles. It bothers me so much, the meshes just don't work. At some point throughout this Creative Sim, I actually had to exit my game to recolor a t-shirt because it was the only one that worked. It was the only one that didn't look weird on the neck. But you know, I did it. I figured something out. So I'm gonna be making a trans male sim who is gay, and his main outfit is gonna be as if he was going to a parade, just like I did with my previous Pride video that I did. Cause you know, it is a Pride Creative Sim. I need to use Pride Creative Sim content. Of course, it's a must. And now moving on to the questions, we have 5 questions. And the first one is, what do you identify yourself as? I identify as a cisgender female who's asexual and demi-romantic. And to kind of explain what this all means, I was born female and I identify as female. I'm asexual, which means that I don't experience sexual attraction to other people. Now, there are a lot of misconceptions about asexuality. The thing is, everybody is different. There are different spectrums to asexuality. Not everybody is the same. Some have an active libido, while others don't really engage in sexual activities, but both can be asexuals. And demi-romantic just means that I don't form any romantic feelings with other people unless I know them and there's a bond between us. It takes time for me to really start crushing on someone, let's just put it like that. And you know, growing up, I really didn't know that this was a thing. I, for the most part, felt like I was different, but not in the sense. I honestly, for the longest time, thought I was just mean. Because, you know, when you show affection to someone else by kissing, hugging, it is seen as like a warm thing, like you're giving someone love, you're giving them affection, it's warm. So I, for the longest time, thought I was just mean and cold-hearted, even though deep down I knew that I care about other people, I just don't show it that way. But I only started feeling different when I was in I think it was 7th grade. I just remember having a conversation with my friends. We were just having a little talk about our crushes, and at that time I had a crush on with quotation marks on this guy from my class. I feel like everybody liked him. Like, he was good looking, he had the best grades, so if I had to pick someone to like, it would be him. And since everybody around me had crushes and some of my friends were already dating, I kind of felt left out and I wanted in on this crush thing, so I picked him as my crush, of course. Everybody likes him. It was the best choice, because love is a choice. And I was claiming to have a crush on this guy ever since 5th grade. So it was 7th grade now, it had been a while. And we were just talking, and I don't remember exactly what led to this question, but when my friends asked me, don't you ever fantasize about being with him? You know, kissing him, among other things? And I, point blank, just straight away say no. And everybody starts looking at me like I was crazy. And it was at that very moment that I was like, that's not normal? Wait, why don't I think about that? To be honest, I was terrified he was gonna find out, and even though the chances of him liking me back were extremely slim, I was terrified he would. And then what? I didn't actually want to date him. And you know, with most of my relationships that I've had while growing up, I would just sabotage them before they have a chance to happen. Because back then I didn't know this was a thing. And you know, sometimes you explain that you don't really want something and the person just completely ignores you. So my answer to everything was to just sabotage it. And even now that I know that I'm asexual, it's still a tricky situation because it's not something that is very talked about. At least here, where I live, specifically, I'm not speaking for the entire country, just the area that I live in. So I still have a really hard time explaining to other people who I am, sadly. Question number 2, what does pride mean to you? To me, pride is a time for us to be proud of who we are without any fear. Some of us spend a lot of time just feeling ashamed, some scared to come out, and sometimes not even knowing who they are. But with pride and, you know, this topic being talked more and more, we start to learn, we start to search, we start to identify, and it just feels nice to know that you're not alone. Question number 3, what's your favorite color on your pride flag? I gotta be honest, I'm not really into the colors of the asexual flag. I like colorful stuff. As you can probably tell from just taking a quick look at my channel, I live for colors. But on the romantic flag, I definitely love the 2 shades of green. Question number 4, what's something you love about yourself? I don't know. Oh gosh, don't feel bad for me. I don't know, lately I've just been feeling really negative about myself. It's been kind of hard to focus on like my positive aspects. I haven't really given that much thought into it lately. I guess I'm attentive, like I try to listen to other people and I always try to make others comfortable and help them out with whatever they need, which sometimes can lead to other people taking advantage of you, so you know, maybe it's also negative, but it's a positive. Question number 5, why do you think pride is important? I already kind of touched a bit on it on the first question, but like pride is important because even though it's very much talked about on the internet, well, it depends on what you do online, okay? Who you interact with. You may hear it sometimes on TV, but like not really. Not as much. And I think I mentioned this before, but where I live is pretty much a tiny village, so we don't really celebrate anything related to LGBT. We don't do parades, we don't do parties, nothing. Heck, I don't even know a single LGBT person from here. Maybe they exist, but they're not out. I only started hearing more about LGBT, and I only found out about LGBT when I moved to college and I started my YouTube channel and got into swimming community. You know, meeting new people who identify, it just makes you want to research that and learn more about it. I don't know if you guys have been watching the news, but what is happening over in Hungary? Discrimination still happens, ignorance is still a thing, and we gotta keep fighting, letting everyone know that we're here, we exist. It's not a freaking choice, like many think. How can they still think that? And we deserve respect and equality. We're all human beings, why should we be treated differently? And this concludes probably the longest criticism I've ever done. I hope you enjoyed it. Happy Pride Month, everybody. Again, make sure to check out everybody that participated in this collab. All the CC that I used on this criticism is going to be linked in the description down below, so make sure to check it out. Get some more LGBT content for your game. And until the next video, goodbye everybody. Take care.